This is Robbin Miller, host of Miller Chat. My assistant today is EJ Miller. Say hello.
Hi.
And my guest is Jerry Caruso, a real-life comedian from Comics for a Cure. Welcome to my show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. This is the first time I've had a comedian.
Oh, that's good.
So I think this is really cool. I got a referral.
History.
History. It's history in almost 21 years.
Wow.
You never know what you're going to get into. Like I'm sure when you do comedy, you never know what you're going to get into.
That's right. That's so true.
So who are you? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I always had aspirations to be funny. I was a class clown. Go figure. Elementary school, I went Catholic school 12 years, so that says it all.
Yeah.
A great audience is there. 7th and 8th grade, I'd entertain kids in the schoolyard, doing voices and telling jokes. And then I went into high school, waited a couple of years to get to know everybody, and then I started entertaining kids in the schoolyard and started doing the pep rallies. I was the MC. I'd tell jokes, I'd do voices, and then I did the senior banquet, which my mother and father were completely shocked. I said, there were 3 acts. I was the last act. I had a girl singing, a woman playing the piano, and then me. And then I told my mom and dad, I go, excuse me, I'll be right back. Where are you going? There's one more act. And my mother saying to me, one more person. I go, don't worry about it. I'll be there for it. And then they gave me enough time to go around and go in the back and head on stage. They introduced me, and my mother was like, oh my God. And my father said, all right, because he knew I could do it. And I pulled it off. And then years later, I did a comedy contest through a friend in high school. I finished 3rd. WVBF, and it was in Saugus. It was in a big place. It was great. Got the bug for 6 months, and then I stopped because friends and family wouldn't support me. I was like, all right, you guys coming? We already saw you. Any new jokes? No. Okay. Good luck, Wow. But then I waited a few years. In 1993, I got back into it through a dare from work. They asked me to roast a manager who was leaving. I go, who is she? They go, we hardly know her. She's our manager. We never see her. What do you want me to do? They go, just tell jokes. And I told jokes, and they said, you got it. If you go to Nick's Comedy Stop in Boston, we'll come follow you. 2 months later, I'm at Nick's Comedy Stop on Monday night, September 13th, and looking out the window from Nick's, I go, where are my friends? The school bus pulls in.
Oh.
People come staggering out. You can imagine why, because they had a beer or two.
Oh.
I don't recommend it. And they supported me, but 14 people come off the bus.
Cool.
They were like a third of the audience, and from there I didn't stop.
Oh, wow. You have a question?
No, not
Any
right
question?
Nothing riveting? That's okay. Think about a good one.
So you could say as young as 10, you could start doing jokes.
Oh God, yeah. As long as they're tasteful and clean, and people will like it and people will laugh, because everybody likes to laugh. I like the teachers when they used to get mad and they go, will you stop it? And they'd be laughing at me. I go, what are you laughing at? Nothing, just you should be doing this. And they, nuns would be like that, because I had nuns. I survived the nuns, or they survived me.
I think that's probably better. So what does it take to be a comedian?
It's so funny you mention that. It was a magical question they asked. I started teaching stand-up comedy in 1999. I was like 6 years into the business. Local radio station, which is across from Mount Wachusett Community College in Gardner, they said, hey, we want to have you on. We're intrigued. Do you teach comedy? They go, do you mind? And the first time on the radio, I go, sure, I don't care. Went on, I was a little nervous, and they said, what does it take, just like your question, what does it take to be a comic? What's a tool? What do you need? What's the biggest quality? Is there anything you need specifically? I go, yeah, $80. That's it. Just to take the course, that's how much it costs.
$80?
Yeah, because that's how much the course costs. So I said, it takes $80. And they laughed. They go, that was funny. I go, well, I meant it to be funny. I go, I can't tell you what they need. They need the ability to talk in front of people and to be funny and just share their life, because that's what comedy should be. Not borrowing jokes. It should be sharing your life.
And sort of putting a spin on it?
Yeah, because you put a spin on your life and you can exaggerate about it. Like I could say I lived in an Italian family, which I did, and I called my mom Warden, and I didn't, but stuff like that. And it's not all true, but and then you talk about it. So when you share stuff about your life and it's funny, somebody in the audience is going to relate to it. They don't have to be Italian. They don't have to be Catholic. They don't have to be anything like me. But they say, my God, that's how I grew up. I had an aunt and uncle just like that. I had a grandparent just like that. My mother was just like that. So you bond with the audience, and it's all good. It works.
So it's an art and a science?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, it's an art because it's abstract.
Abstract, yes.
Abstract, of course. Because you tend to exaggerate about things. So when I talk about my dad, he carried weapons, but they were really belts and shoes because we got hit when we were kids. Everybody go, oh, I got hit too, With an Italian mother, it's anything, a ladle, the pan, slippers, the dog. It didn't matter, But it's like, so when you exaggerate about it, that's where it's part of the art. The science is trying to make people laugh and learning how to do it. And one of the best ways to do it is pack it with emotion. Someone can tell a joke and be very mundane. I can tell the same joke and pack it with emotion. People say, now that's funny. And the first person will be like, yeah, that was okay. But I just told you the same joke. Yeah, but you made it interesting, And that's one of the big things.
It's a finesse.
Yep. And you have to have that. You also have to have that comfort. You have to be like very comfortable on stage. You have to be like, all right, I'm going to make you laugh. If you're nervous, the audience can tell. They know when you're sweating. They know when you're on the fire line. They know it's dripping, and they feel bad for you. And not only will they laugh for you, but they'll be like, geez, I feel bad. I hope this guy's done, And that happened when I first started. I even said that about myself. I saw a film, and I go, who is that guy? He's terrible. I go, wait a minute, that was me, Because it was true. I'd see it. I go, wait a minute. First time I went, I was reading lines off of my hand, because I was nervous. But
Right.
all I needed was like what voice that I was doing or what song I was doing a voice to. And it's like, and then, it's pretty obvious. You'd see it. But that's what people thought made it comical. I go, it wasn't meant to be comical. I was nervous, and I don't know what order I was going to do my stuff in.
Ah, interesting. So where have you performed over the years?
Over the years, if you go state-wise, I've been as far as New York and New Jersey and as north as Maine and upper New England, Vermont. A lot in Mass, New Hampshire, Maine, usually, sometimes Rhode Island, because I know people. No, I know Italian people there, so they're going to have me. I got the O at the last name. I qualify. And I've been to clubs like Nick's Comedy Stop, the Comedy Connection in Providence, Rhode Island, Portland, Maine, Boston, Massachusetts. Nick's Comedy Stop is also in Boston. Not anymore. It used to be. I mean, I think it's still there, but
Right.
not as big as it used to be.
Okay.
Comedy Palace, which was big on toward the New Hampshire border and Mass border. That was a big place. It was a great place. Now I do like Main Event Comedy, great organization up in Maine. The Comedy Factory in Rhode Island, I do a lot for them. And then basically my own group, Comics for a Cure.
And can you tell us more about that?
Oh, yeah. Started off over a cup of coffee. A guy saw me do a show, and he says to me, we got to do benefits. I go, what do you mean? He goes, we got to do comedy shows, benefits, fundraisers. You just did one for AIDS research, and it went great. I said, well, what do you want to do? He goes, first get me a cup of coffee. Get him a cup of coffee. It was okay. I don't make it like my wife. It's like, yeah, well, it was instant. It was real easy.
Okay.
So he drank it. He goes, comics for something. I go, for a cure. And from that point, we didn't look back. Guy's name is Tony Marcus. Worked with him for like 3 or 4 years, and then he moved. And I still call myself the co-founder because I know he was behind it too. And we've done it for many organizations, Relay for Life, MS. We're doing one up the street. We just did one for Live Strong out of Worcester.
Yes, that I saw.
Great organization, great organization. They help out cancer patients with a free exercise program to get their strength back after chemo and radiation. So it's a wonderful organization. Christine Salavatos, you owe me. I mentioned your name.
She's from Shrewsbury.
She, that's
You
a
know
good
her.
point. Yeah,
do I.
maybe. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm doing something else for her. They're having a bike-a-thon, and I'm going to be entertaining there. It's going to be interesting. They'll be like pedaling hard to run me over because they shut up, stop telling those jokes. And they won't be going anywhere because they're stationary bikes. It'll be perfect for me. I won't feel threatened. And Relay for Life, MS.
Kids?
I've done a few kids shows, and I
Okay.
know what you have to go down to their level. No offense. You have to go down
You
to
hear
their
that?
level.
You
And
want to
you have to know what jokes to tell. Like, I had to, one time Relay for Life in Burlington, Mass, they said, we got you an audience. We got you under a tent. Our private show was raining out hard. People were walking the track. Then they said, we got an audience of like 35 people. I go, oh, that's good. They were all little girls. They were like age range 10 through 13. I go, oh my God. 10 through 13, how am I going to do this? So my friend was so open to me. He goes, "It's all yours," because he basically said, "I can't do this." And I just started talking about boys. I started talking about math. I started talking about parents. And, all parents are dumb. They go, "Oh yeah," they're all on my side.
You like that?
Boys, and these were girls. I go, "Boys are stupid." They go, "Yeah, they are stupid." I go, "I'll bet you have a boyfriend." She goes, "Well, yeah, how'd you know?" And the parents are like, "Wow, this is great." So I went down to their level because, not to insult anybody, but you have to know your audience. I do shows for elderly. I know that they want to hear everything about your life, but I also know that they like it. How do I put it? Spicy, edgy.
Of course.
They go, "Did you get any dirty jokes?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm doing a show for you guys. I'll keep it PG-13. They go, "Oh, crap," and they walk away. I'm like, "Are you serious?" But I still just did PG-13 for them. Benefits, I always try to tell comics I'm working under me. They wanted PG-13. No, they wanted G. They wanted squeaky clean like Disney. I don't say that, but they say that. It's like Disney clean, like really cutesy stuff. And we'll do that because we adjust to our audience. And sometimes for comics, they have a hard time. One time a guy did it, he was real nervous. He did his 20 minutes in 9 minutes because he just ran through it because he just wanted to get it done and over with. Then he saw me do an hour. He goes, how can you do an hour? I go, because I could make the 4-letter words like cutesy words, like poo-poo, and stuff like that. People know what you're talking about, and they think it's funny. But if I'm self-deprecating, like making fun of myself, it's so easy. I could be up there forever. Talk about my mother, talk about my father, talk about, my kids. It's so easy once you get the hang of it. And people don't. They have that stigma inside them saying like, no, you got to be edgy, you got to be dirty, you got to throw a 4-letter word out there. Going, not necessarily, And I find a way to dance around that, and it's just so much fun.
Wow. Do you have any questions?
I'm still thinking.
He's thinking. I think he's got a few.
What about if you had a group of boys, right?
I talk about girls. I talk about baseball. I talk about teachers. Talk about homework. I talk about mom and dad. I talk about not staying up late, playing games, video games. You gotta hit the right notes.
So you gotta know your audience.
Yeah, definitely. Or so I headline a lot, which means I'm the last act, and I do the longest because I'm the headliner, and I'll do like anywhere between 45 minutes and
45 minutes.
Yeah,
wow.
The longest I've ever done, I did 61 minutes in Maine. No, I'm sorry, an hour and I'm doing the math. This is terrible. See how bad I am at math? 81 minutes, which is an hour and 21 minutes, because the other 2 acts did good, but they didn't have a lot of time. They wanted an hour and a half show. I'm like, okay, and I did it. Then I did a church. I did 78 minutes, an hour and 18. I can do at least up to an hour very easily. If I pull out all the stops, I can go almost an hour and a half.
And the audience will still be engaging for an hour.
Well, I hope so, unless they're asleep.
You must be tired.
I know they usually are, because I try to put energy into it. So if you could tell, if you tied my hands up, I'd be like a mute, because an Italian talks with his hands.
I totally get that.
So I'm animated. I try to be animated to a point that they want to listen to me. My voice inflects louder and louder, but not in a rude way, but it gets them to listen. If I'm telling stories about my dad, God rest his soul, my dad had passed away, good stories, or my mom, which I'll try to share up here, people get it. And I'll even throw in the accent, because it's all true, because she has an accent and all, but, so I keep everybody interested. So my basic act goes through my life. Since I was a kid, up until now, all the things I've gone through. But then I go through and I make fun of classic rock bands aging. I said they don't age well, and they should stop singing about covers of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Okay.
I said they should make it none of that, Social Security and meds, and it makes it funny. And so I'll try to sing the songs like these bands, and it gets people interested. I do voices. I write my own songs, or I'll just take the songs that are playing and change the words around to it. I'll sit up and just do it. I'll just sit, I get an idea, and I'll write it down, and I try to match the lyrics perfectly.
And you want to do this full time?
I'd like to, but it's like, I gotta pay my bills. I mean, I can make money, but basically what I try to do for charities is make them the most amount of money they need, or if it's a cause, if it's someone with a sick child, or anything like that. I want them to get the money. I mean, I'll get my money, don't get me wrong, and I do get paid good amounts of money from different groups, but I try to make more for a cause, or if someone's sick, or if they had a house fire and stuff like that. We did one for a house fire out in Athol or Orange. People loved it. They had a great time. We raised a good amount of money, and they were happy. They were happy to get, close to $1,000 because they could do stuff with it, help to rebuild their lives. On the contrary, one show we did for, I wear this all the time, Mission 22. It's against veteran suicide. One show we did over 20,000. Now, yes, it's a guy that hustled to get raffles and prizes and sponsorship, but people came and they crowded the place, and we'll be doing more for Mission 22. Another charity, we raised 11,000. So we can do it if everything's right. The venue, the publicity, people selling tickets. People always say, "Do you sell tickets?" I go, "No." They go, "You famous?" I go, "No." "You've been doing it 26 years. You're not famous?" I go, "No." "Would you come see you?" I go, "No." I'm honest. But people will come, and I'll assemble good comics that work with me, and it's a lot of fun. And they'll get 90 minutes plus of comedy, in addition to if they have raffles or 50-50, they do all that stuff. So it works. It's a magical formula.
That sounds cool. Any questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Why did you even want to start doing comedy?
I just was always funny in front of my family. I'd make jokes. I'd impersonate my dad or my mom in front of extended family. My mom and dad didn't like it, but I thought it was funny. But everybody else thought it was funny. They go, "Tell us more, tell us more." So I kept doing it. And then by the time I got in elementary school, like I said, 7th and 8th grade, I felt free, like, oh, I got a joke, and I tell 5 people. And you know what happens? 10 more people come. 10 more people come. Half the schoolyard's there, and I'm like, and the nuns are there. "What's going on here?" "It's a show." "There's no shows in the schoolyard." So I kept doing it.
Sounds cool, huh? Anything else?
So, like, if you, like, what makes you the most happy about being a comedian?
That's a real good question. Take notes.
I will.
Makes me happy when I make people laugh, and when I help raise money for different causes, and when people could come and say to me, "I had a bad day, and you made me laugh, and I forgot about my bad day." So that's really cool. Because me and my friend Paul Durance, he's another comedian that I took under my wing. He took my class, and he's been doing it 6 years. He's doing really good. And him and I do free shows at Hope Lodge in Boston for cancer patients. There used to be one in Worcester. Unfortunately, they closed it down. We did shows there, too. They didn't close down because of us. And we went, and we do it, like I have a show Thursday night at Hope Lodge in Boston. Such a good feeling to make them laugh, and cancer patients are telling me, "Thanks a lot. I needed that." Or, it makes me forget about things. And one guy told me that once. He goes, "I had treatment. I was nervous, then I thought of your jokes." I go, "Didn't that make things worse?" He goes, "No, it made it better." So that's what I like, just to walk out with that good feeling. Because it's therapeutic for me, as it is for them. It's therapeutic for them, I hope. But me, I walk away feeling like $1 million.
The mirror effect. You make them happy.
Yep.
Make you happy.
Absolutely.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to transition where Jerry's going to give us a sample gig.
Yep. Sampling of jokes.
And then we'll come back. We'll just wrap it up.
Sure.
Okay? Well, thank you.
Good evening, Shrewsbury and surrounding area, which I think is Worcester County. I don't know who discovered it. Somebody had discovered it. But anyway, my name is Jerry Caruso. I am Italian and a stand-up comedian over 26 years. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to tell you as an audience, I'm going to bum you out. My mother, straight from Italy, has not come to see one comedy show. Do I get a, oh? Is that bad? That's terrible. I tell her, Mama, come see me do comedy. She goes, no. I don't come and see you do the stupid comedy show. I've opened up for Larry the Cable Guy, Lisa Lampanelli, Anthony Clark. I run Comics for a Cure. I'm up and down the East Coast. No, I don't come and see the stupid comedy show. I go, why, Ma? She says, because they laugh at you. But that's what she thinks. She thinks they laugh at me. See that? That's good. It's really a vivacious, loud audience. You know, they're thronging for my autographs. Also, growing up Italian, which is very, very cool. But as I got older, I had to move out of my house. And it was really, really difficult for my mother to accept because I was her baby boy. I'm an Italian son of hers, and I had plans to move out. She was sad, and my uncle kept teasing me. He goes, why are you going to move out? Your mother do everything for you. She wash your clothes. She make your bed. She do everything for you. Why are you going to move out? You like in a hotel. I got to move out, Uncle Mario. And I moved out at a very young age. I freaked out my whole family and Italian friends because it was really tough when I turned 39. And I had to tell them I'm moving out. 39 years old. 39 years old. And it was crazy. I told my mother I got to move out. She goes, no, Jenny, please don't go. I love you. I go, Mama, I love you too, but I got a good used car. I have a good job. I have a nice apartment. No, go. I cook. I sew. I do anything for you. I said, Ma, let go of my leg. I'm moving upstairs. Oh, my God. She's upstairs. He'll get it. Upstairs. It's just crazy. And I remember my dad, with my mother's accent, it was really, really tough to understand her. She threw Daddy out once. Me and my brother were 6 and 7. Daddy got thrown out of the house. He got thrown to the ground, wiping off snow. He does this, and he drives away. Well, Mama threw out Papa. We found out 10 years later she threw him out because he was a wise guy, or she called him spiteful, okay? So when she come upstairs, we said, Mama, where's Papa? We're so sad. Where's Papa? What'd you do with Papa? She goes, I told out to your father because he's the Spider-Man. I can't make that up. She couldn't say spiteful. It was Spider-Man. We were all excited. Spider-Man lives with us. He come home at 11 o'clock saying, boys, snowstorm, put on your snowsuits. We're going to shovel snow. Well, we did. But he took a little shot of brandy, and he scared us. And we're like, Daddy, you're drinking. He goes, no, boys, I'm not drinking. This strengthens my muscles, and I can shovel snow all night long. Here's a little tiny bit of brandy. We said, no, we're 6, we're 7. Drink it. We said, okay, and we drank it. Oh, my God, we shoveled snow 5 hours, 6 towns, 7 counties. We couldn't believe it. But Dad didn't realize he created little alcoholics. Oh, yeah, the following year, rum cake for our birthdays, anisette cookies for snacks, wine with every meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, recess. We didn't care until Daddy caught us drinking a full bottle of wine by the time we were 7 and 8. He said, boys, what's this all about? We said, Daddy, chance of snow. So anyway, but it's chance of snow. He's smirking. This is good, but it's so wonderful to be this way. To be Italian, I love sharing my life. I love doing unique shows. I did a synagogue once. I was nervous. The woman goes, "Don't worry, tell Jewish jokes. You'll be okay." This is 6 years in the business. I go, Jewish jokes? I don't know any Jewish jokes. She goes, you got an hour, sonny. Go write them. And I went to the car, and then I realized that my first joke was when I walked in the synagogue. The woman goes, would you like a yarmulke? I go, I got a Toyota. I'm all set. She liked that. And then I compared Italians to Jewish people. Italians like the name Sal. Jewish people like the name Saul. Italians like meatballs. Jewish people like matzo balls. They're all agreeing with me. Finally, I said, Italians have famous entertainer Frank Sinatra. Oh, my God, did they clap. And then I said, and I got stuck. I didn't know what to say. I go, Jewish people have famous entertainer Frank Einstein. But they thought it was cute, so they really liked it. So all I can say, folks, laughter is the best medicine. Come see me do shows. Rent me to do comedy for your group because I love doing it. We are Comics for Cure. I am Jerry Caruso. Good night. God bless.
Welcome back. Well, thank you very much for doing that 5-minute. Did you prepare for that?
No, you kidding me? I just go to the top of my head and pick out jokes. It's like a Rolodex. It's in my head. You don't know what a Rolodex is. You do. It has little cards and you flip to them.
Are you serious? They now have to use the little, that's their Rolodex, right?
Yeah, that's their Rolodex
That's
now.
your Rolodex now.
Right? The phone where kids talk to each other and they're at the same bus stop. You know, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. Oh, you see that girl? Yeah, I see her. She's cute. Did you do your homework? No, I didn't do it. Ha, 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 ha. And they're laughing. I'm like, you guys, we used to talk. Now they use cell phones.
Well, it's like when they go to a restaurant. Remember how we went to a restaurant, Chick-fil-A, and what were the kids doing? They were talking through this.
Yeah, right? That's true. They don't talk anymore, you know.
No, they just do this.
My mother, we went over her house, and so she goes, put the phone in the basket. I go, hang on, I'll text you. I said, no, no. She laughed. She didn't laugh. She said, put the phone in the basket. We put it in the basket. Because it's so true, because people get attached to their phones.
Well, they can't. Well, I work with students. They can't study. They said, I just can't study.
Yeah, get off the phone.
Get off the phone. I even say, well, why don't you just shut it off and lock it in your backpack?
Nope, they can't do that.
No, they can't even do
They're
that.
going to miss something.
I really want to say just throw it out the window, but
You can do that, too.
well, you can do that too. You hear that? But that would not
See
be
that?
appropriate. You have any last questions before we end?
No.
Huh? Now you learned how to be a comic, right? Then when we go home, you're going to make us laugh?
Yeah, you will. Yeah. Gee, don't. Call me up, I'll tell you jokes.
See, I'm in mental health, so I'm a mental health counselor, so you definitely have to have a sense of humor.
You have to. With everything that you do, a sense of humor is so important. It breaks the ice.
It definitely does.
And
Definitely does. Well, like what you do, like when you do med students, you break the ice.
oh, it's so good. So good. Do an ice company, I break the ice.
Okay, so before we end, how could people contact you?
I'm on a website, www.jerrycarusocomic.webs.com, or I'm on Facebook too. Who isn't? People go, you're 64, you're on Facebook? I go, you wouldn't believe how many people track me down on Facebook. They do, they find me. Yes.
Instagram?
No, just Facebook, LinkedIn too, and my email, jerry_caruso@hotmail.com. People find me, they will find me, they hunt me down, and it's so good.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of Miller Chat. My assistant today was Edward J. Tesoro Miller, and my guest today was Jerry Caruso, comedian for Comics for Cure. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Good night.